All right, guys, we got an all-new Time to Buy with Zach, and it's a special edition, all Silver Age. So stay tuned. Welcome back, Gainers, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic episode of Comic Day.
Yeah.
And if you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess. We're all Hines doing that Princess wave, looking very lovely, just like usual. There's Coco, so make sure to bow down and respect.
All right, guys, so today is Saturday, and we got our very own Time to Buy with Zach, where Princess and myself pick out some graded comic books that we're interested in, that are trending, that we think might be a good idea to buy. We kind of want to get Zach's second opinion, as he is our graded master of knowledge. Master of knowledge, that kind of
Master of knowledge.
So, we want to get his opinion, see if he thinks it's a good idea to pick up these graded books. And our list kind of changed here and there, and today's list is all Silver Age, which is actually kind of one of Zach's favorite ages, I think. I think it is Zach's favorite age.
His favorite.
So it kind of works out well. Kind of goes well with that kind of goodness. So, before we get into the list and get Zach's opinion on these graded books, we need to give him a little boost. Boost!
Yes, I'm a little tired, so I'm going to go to the get-go. The right direction. True North. This is True North Pure Energy Seltzer. It got 0 sugar, 0 sweetener, 0 calories, 0 artificial, 0... Well, yeah, that's
a 0 taste.
It's all zeros.
Yeah.
Except for, a little bit of vitamin A.
I didn't tell you, but that one doesn't go in your mouth.
Yeah, this is what it goes in your butt. That's what this looks like. Guys, I'm down 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, just from not drinking.
True North. That's like a D&D thing, right? True North?
I don't know about that. It's something to do with the magnetic field.
In real life, True North. How is it?
I'd rather go south.
Tastes like True South.
What the heck? The aftertaste. No, don't buy this one. That's a no bueno. Alright,
Alright, guys. Let's get into it. So, we will kick off our Time to Buy Silver Age list here. It's always a bunch of good comics. So, we'll save Princess's picks for the end of the list. I'll let you know which ones Princess picked out for Zach to look at. But starting out the list, we have Amazing SpiderMan 40, number 46 from 1967. And unfortunately, we did not have this book. And it's a pretty cool book. On the list, you have first appearance of the Shocker. Ooh, the Shocker. So this is Stan Lee and John Romita Sr. is the creative group on this book. And, overall, I think it's a great cover. You obviously have the Shocker on the cover, which is always like a bonus. Whenever you're doing first appearances, you get the character on the cover as well. That tends to happen a lot with the Amazing Spider-Man runs. Mm-hmm. Like when they have the first appearance of the villain, they tend to be on the cover.
Yes.
Most of the time.
I like.
Yeah, which is cool. I think that helps out his Spider-Man ASM keys a lot more, having the villain on there. But I always thought Shocker was kind of a cool character as watching the 90s cartoon, the Spider-Man 90s cartoon. Shocker was like a big deal in that cartoon for some reason. I remember watching it, he kind of messes with a bunch of the other villains, and all of a sudden Kingpin's like, I need to bring in the big guns. And you're like, oh, who's it going to be? And it's like, it's the Shocker. And you're like, oh, okay. He whoops him up when he has the black costume on.
Yeah.
In the cartoon, and from that point on, you're like, okay, Shocker's legit. He's a cool character. But if you look deeper in the comics, he's not in much. He only has 2 keys in all of the comic books, which is crazy. But, he does show up in the Spider-Man movie Homecoming, and actually is played by 2 different characters. They kill that first Shocker, and then you get the second Shocker. I don't think the second Shocker died, did he?
No.
He definitely didn't get the Shocker.
No.
But more importantly, as we all know, despite movies, ASM keys are usually moving up. So I don't know, Zach. How do you feel about the Shocker?
Well, interesting. Recent sales for a 4.0 is $211.69 to $380. That's actually pretty cheap for that great period.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only 8 9.8s. And there's 2,238.
There's only 8?
Only 8 9.8s.
Okay.
There's 2,238 total graded for the US version. There's a UK. There's the highest grade for the UK is a 9.4, and there's only 1, and there's only 31 graded. And I would say buy the UK variant of it if you can find it. Apparently, I mean, some people are like always US, but it's just such a small print run in the UK. It's almost like if you have the choice, get the UK version.
Okay.
It's in English, guys. There's no difference except for the price on the cover.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool book. It's like, it's kind of the end of those like OG Spider-Man villain keys. Kind of like, the original ones, if you consider like in that number, 46.
This is really throwing me off.
All right.
Finish it.
Okay, so next up here, and I think we do have this book.
Oh,
so we have X-Men number 6 from 1964. We got a little Submariner goodness going on right now.
Thank you, Princess.
This is done by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, the OG goodness there. Just overall, really, really cool book. You got Submariner on the cover. Obviously, this isn't his first appearance in the Silver Age, but I've read the story. It's actually a really cool story. Like Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. This is their third appearance in X-Men comics, and then they decide like, hey, we need a new member for the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, which is weird because at this point, I don't think Namor's not a mutant yet. Well, he would be a mutant, but it's not retcon that he's a mutant. But Magneto decides to go after him and be like, hey, let's get this guy in our group. Should be a perfect member for the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. And, kind of like Namor's kind of wishy-washy in the story and can't decide like which team he wants to go on. He ends up fighting both of them, the X-Men and Magneto, and ultimately doesn't join him, obviously. But, it's a cool story. It's always been, like a nice key for the X-Men run to have like that good crossover. Plus, if you're counting those like third appearances as keys, start to stretch by third and fourth, but still key to some people. I don't know, Zach, what do you think? I know you like this book.
Oh yeah, I had to get it back when it was a little cheaper. Right now, 6.0s sell for $855 to $960. I have no idea what an 8.0 would sell for. Jeez, there's 4 9.8s. There's only 1,562 graded total.
That's really low.
That's really low for this book.
Okay, all right.
Where are they? And then there's some UK variants of this. The highest grade for the UK is an 8.5, and there's only 24 graded. And I would say this is a probably very high on list if you don't already own one to get. I mean, at least get a raw copy, because these X-Men books, as soon as X-Men shows up, get single-digit X-Men, especially with Namor on it, and there's only one in the single digits. I mean, these are going to be out of your price range really soon if you don't get it now. If you're planning on getting one, get it now.
That's a really good point, too, because they've already used a lot of characters in the MCU. Some have even come and gone. Mm-hmm. And these are both characters, although we've gotten a glimpse of Namor, we know he's coming. They're both two groups of people, or one person and a group of people that haven't shown up yet. So they could spend a lot of time together in the MCU, especially if they go that route where like, hey, Namor is the first mutant, and that's why we have these other mutants. This potentially could have some huge gains later on.
Yes.
People like those, like, right now with everything going on in the MCU, people really like that first time meeting, first time coming together,
Yeah, people really like that.
Yeah.
And X-Men 1 through 10, single digit, slightly a little higher. Get any of those books. Do it now.
Don't miss it now. Okay. Next up, and this is the last of my picks, and unfortunately we don't have this book. This book is huge now. Freaking huge. You have Fantastic Four number 4, which is cool. I didn't even think about that until I was writing that down, that it's like Fantastic Four number 4. Right? It's almost, not cool at number 1, but it's kind of cool that it goes together. 1962, crazy old. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby again, making that awesomeness. But this is first full appearance of Submariner in the Silver Age. And, it's a huge book. It's also the first time Human Torch says Flame On too, which is also kind of cool. We love that.
Flame On.
Flame On! But, we already, like I said, we already know Namor's coming. They already shown him in the previews for Wakanda Forever, which is going to make this book going crazy skyrocket. And, he does have his first appearance in, technically like Marvel Comics 1, but then you also have that motion pictures funnies, so quite a long time ago. That came out in like early 50s, you know, when that was, or no, or even early, no, 30s, 38, right?
No. Action Comics #1 came out in 38. Anything Marvel came out in 1940 and after. So it should be about 1940, maybe 1941.
Yeah. So, you know, I couldn't figure out like what was the last comic that Namor was in before showing up in this Fantastic Four, but it looked like it was like almost like a 10-year spread. I'm not sure if it was quite that long. But, you know, it's kind of hard to tell what was the last. But that's, you know, it's kind of cool. You don't think about it till you're looking at, like, they brought back, like, an OG character to kind of give this new group some, like, legitify it or whatever. But I don't know, Zach. Is it the right time to buy this book that's going crazy right now?
Yeah, yeah, in the 4.5, it's going for 5,100 to as high as 6,500. There's highest grade, 7 CGC 9.6s. 6 of them are universal. One's a signature series. You can probably guess who signed it. There's only 1,670 graded. There is a UK, once again. The highest grade for the UK is a 7.5.
Wow.
And there's only 39 of the UKs. If you got this like 5 years ago, you're a smile. If you try to get it now, you're crying because your bank account's going to get really low. You probably do want to get this book if you like the Submariner, which pretty much everybody should.
You should.
It's a very fun character, very great character. I probably wouldn't buy it now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't buy it.
I think you missed the boat on that. This is like the time. You wait for that first preview, and then that's like the hype, you know. And it's like, unless he shows up in the movie and it's just like the coolest character ever, be the only way it's going to go up in value after the movie.
Yeah,
which is possible, but
yeah, I mean, who knows? They could play it off where it's like, oh, Fantastic Four's going to be lame, and that might be, you know, a good time to buy some of the big keys like this one, especially Doom.
Yeah.
Jeez,
yeah.
Doom's gonna go
that's
crazy.
Your next step.
But yeah, I would probably wait on this. This is stupid expensive. You know, don't do me and buy a Giant Says X-Men on the height of the market. Jesus. Oh, but I still love that book. I still sleep with it every night. Anyways.
All right. Okay. Next up on the list, these last 2 books, these are Princess's picks for Zach on the Silver Age. And we have first up here, this is a personal favorite of mine as well. You have Marvel Superheroes number 20 from 1969. Speaking of that Doom goodness. But believe it or not, this is cover and written by Larry Lieber. Did both the story and the artwork on this, who is Stan Lee's brother. The lesser known Stan Lee's brother, which is really, really cool. I think this is like a super underrated book for what it is. I mean, you can sometimes find it on the cheap. Sometimes, I mean, high grade it's worth a lot of money, but you can find a lower grade copy for a fairly reasonable price. But it is an iconic Doom cover, and then it's an original solo story by Doom. It's also just a cool run in general, like this the Marvel Superheroes run. You got a lot of great books in the series, like 12 and 13. You got first Captain Marvel, first Carol Danvers, and you got 17 Black Knights meet each other. You got 18 first Guardians of the Galaxy. Just, you know, sweet run. Anyway,
yeah.
Just a cool run. But, you know, Doom books have seemed to be jumping up a little bit just based on their covers, not alone just the first price. There's a couple of good Fantastic Four books that started popping off. So I don't know, Zach, is it the right time to buy this Marvel Superheroes number 20? Because Princess wants to know.
So, in a 7.0, there's a range of $555 to $600. Not too bad for a book of that quality in that grade. There's 3 9.8s. There's only 662 graded.
Wow.
Total.
Wow.
There's only 662 books of this graded. Not many. So it's either people don't want to send this in or people don't have it to send it in. It's not worth it for them to send it in.
Well, sometimes with those square bound ones too, if you're kind of in that middle range, like that mid grade, it's kind of weird because, like, you can't. I mean, unless you're like a professional presser. I have not tried to press a square bound book yet. I don't want to squish it to nothing. You know what I mean? And then, like, you have a much higher chance of it already being damaged. So some people are really picky about what grade. You know, they only go Silver Age. You're only going to go 7.0 or higher for some people. You know, I'll send it a 2.0. I don't care. But for some people, that's probably why you see less of them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this might not be a bad book to get at all. I mean, Ed Doom hasn't made a trailer appearance. We don't know when he's going to show up. He will show up very soon, probably in the Fantastic Four movie. But I would hope that they do it a little sooner than that. Yeah, I think you should get this book. I think you should pick it up while you can, because they're going to be going after the Fantastic Four number. Is it 5? I can't.
Yeah, 5. Yeah,
number 5. The annual number 2, I believe, 1 or 2. I think it's number 2, and that book.
There's like that FF47 too, or something like that too, where he's like all big on the cover. That looks cool.
I don't like that one.
It's expensive.
Oh no, is it 47 or 84?
I can't.
Oh, whatever. Doesn't matter. I need to wait. That energy threw me up. Yeah, but yes. But get this book. Get this book. Try to find a good deal on it, but get this book. No brainer. It's a no brainer.
Nice. Okay. You heard it here. You heard it here first. Okay. Last but not least, and Princess she decided to give Zach some DC love, a DC Silver Age book, and she actually has this book, so probably wants to know what Zach thinks about it. But this is Hawkman number 4 from 1964, and this is done by Murphy Anderson and Jeff Schiff, where's the creative group on this, and for all you Hawkman fans out there, this is the first appearance of Zatanna. So, obviously just a really cool character. I actually don't know that much about Zatanna overall. I know that like when she does her spells, she says it backwards, right? Like says the word backwards, and that like kind of creates the spell. But there hasn't been that much out of this character yet, and I think she showed up once or twice in like a TV show, right?
Yes.
Never on the big screen that we've seen so far. She's in a bunch of cool groups, but she's always been a highly respected character for the DC. Always drawn really well. You know, she's part of like the Dark Justice League Dark, say it backwards. So that's always like a cool group that everyone really respects. So I know Princess is probably her favorite DC character, one of her favorite DC characters by far. So I don't know, Zach, what do you think? Is it a good time to pick up Zatanna? I know Zach loves Zatanna too. I'm indifferent about her. Agnostic about Zatanna. But Zach loves her as well.
Well, recent sales in the 4.0 is $700 to $720. Very stable.
Dang, that's expensive.
It's pretty expensive. There's 3 9.8s and there's 1,383 total graded, which is, again, just like the norm of this list, not that many graded. The highest one is at ASM 46. But yeah, I mean, me and Adam were talking about this. DC's a little kind of like, they're more or less in trouble. They're putting themselves in trouble. They need to make a longer plan. We were talking about this. And a couple of ideas we're shooting around. They have to do something dark, like Justice League Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like Swamp Thing. I mean, and Zatanna, those are like 2 characters that they could do and be pretty successful. Constantine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
a winner right there.
There was no spec on Constantine when the Constantine movie came out, and that movie killed it.
I like the movie.
People really
despite
like
what people say, I like that movie.
People really like the movie.
Yeah.
There's some haters, but there's always little haters. I think they did pretty well in the box set. But anyways, yeah, DC should do dark movies, and Zatanna would be perfect to be in a dark movie. Dark, maybe a little bit funny. And also Superman in the World War II movie would be cool.
Yeah, Golden Age, Silver Age DC.
Apparently
cool.
Apparently DC's looking for someone to help have a vision for the DC universe. Contact us. The TCEU. Pick me, DC. Pay me $1 million a year. I'll give you some ideas for us. Anyways, yeah, buy this book.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones where you're like, when's the wrong time, when's the right time? It hasn't fluctuated, so it's only gonna go up. So either you get in now or you pay more later. Unless they do a really, really bad movie and then it's gonna go in the toilet. So you're either hoping for that, and then you're like, I'll get it now, which could happen,
And out of all these books, I pretty much the smart buy would probably be the Marvel Superheroes number 20. I want to say the XMen 6, really do, but yeah, the Marvel Superheroes 20 I think would be a pretty smart buy to get now.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
That's a good pick. Solid choice, Zach. So that wraps up Time to Buy with Zach. I hope y'all learned a little bit. I did. Get Zach's opinion on some stuff. So if you like the show, love the show, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you always know when new things are going down, because we are going live every Wednesday, normally at 7, but depending on the day, it might change early or not. And schedules always change, so we might have to throw a live show on a different day here or there depending on how it goes. We'll try to give you guys a heads up. Speaking of live, right after this show is Princess's Whatnot show at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. However that goes for you guys. But it is her 1,000 follower giveaway show. So she's got slabs, crazy giveaways, a sick lineup. I think every book she's selling is a key of some significant or greatness. And dollar starts. All the money goes to Princess. It's her show alone. Zach and I will be having our own show coming out soon, so we'll give you guys more details as that goes. But all the love and attention goes to the Princess on this show, as well it should. Zach, you got anything else?
Yeah, you gotta share. How you do that is your father and potentially other parent was in the secret government facility getting messed around with genetically, getting your powers, you make a team. The team dies eventually, I think, by the people that you're working for. But you have a kid, who doesn't have powers, but grows up, goes to school. They bring her back to the facility, the agent's facility, and they do tests on her. She gets powers, basically a ungreen She-Hulk, And she's pretty awesome. She's not Marvel or DC, she's Image. And I really like that series, along with other characters.
What are you looking at over there?
I'm looking at the Gen 13 one. And that's how you become, I know the last name very well. I think it's Catelyn Fairchild. That's how you become Catelyn Fairchild.
Morgan Fairchild?
No! I know her last name, because I thought Fairchild was a really great last name.
He's like, where are you getting these ideas from? It's like, we're surrounded by the sea of comic books.
Yeah, it's a sea of comic books.
Where are these ideas coming from?
I could have done Conan. There's Conan right there. But yeah, Catelyn Fairchild, if you guys haven't read the series, it's fantastic. At least the original part of it, from what I remember 10 years ago when I was only getting into comics. No, longer than 10 years ago. Anyways, yeah, Catelyn Fairchild, get those gains.
Right on, guys. Until we see you next time, stay safe and remember.
Continue to get those gains.
Get 'em.
Gen 13 gains. And other gains.
I like it.
All right.